if you smell these, this is going to be real bitter.
Smells it. We did.
Yeah, and so the reason, even on your sweeter beers, that you need to do this is that you're adding all that malt in, and it's so sweet that you have to counterbalance that sweetness. So when you're putting in, 29 pounds of sugar essentially, which is really, I've been keeping an eye on it for you, don't worry. And also our temperature too, so we're getting close to 200. Once this gets to 212, we can back this off, so that way it'll just keep it at that 212. So this is gonna start boiling here in about another 15 degrees or so. So once we get it up to 212, by that time we'll have everything already measured out. So here's our 2 hops. So we got those. Now we've got, let's go ahead and cut this off and we'll see how much this is right now. Again, this is the malt extract that we're pulling out right there. Really doesn't impart a whole lot of flavor. It's basically just fuel for the yeast to create alcohol. What this is, now this candy syrup is what they call it, but it's really just sugar. This sugar is a specific, which like your Belgian, we've got 2 different here. We've got a golden Belgian and then we have a blonde Belgian. So we're going to do 3 of the golden, 1 of the blonde. That's where a lot of the flavor and the body is going to come from. So go ahead and start adding these in now. So again, we got that. We're going to go ahead and add this slowly. So, yep, and what you can do is actually if you grab 2 of them, if you can just set it there and it'll pour right over.
Really heavy.
So you can do that. Now you can grab that other one and go ahead and get it right there. So go ahead and start adding those in, and if you just set them there, they'll hold each other from falling in. So go ahead and just start pouring it, dump that in there. Or you can jump on this side. And now you want to get this and start stirring, because you don't want that to sit at the bottom or you'll burn it. Now there's that little thing, hold on real quick. In the center of it, there's that little plug. Just make sure you don't hit that because you don't want to knock that thing off. That's what's going to help filter the hops once we start putting that. And you'll feel it, it's going to be pretty thick down there in the bottom. What you just don't want that syrup to sit on the bottom because it'll cook it. It'll actually cook the sugars on the bottom and caramelize them. So we don't want that. So as long as we got that, does it feel like there's any left down on the bottom?
I keep bringing that little stick thing up.
Which is fine. That's just the temperature probe, so that's okay.
It doesn't feel like it.
Feels like you got most of it in? I'll hold that open if you want to go ahead and just pour the hops into here. All right. Bring this up to a boil, which you're back at. Now you can go ahead and drop those in. That's your hops. So this is the one that we're going to add in here right now as well, so we can start dissolving this. This is the Belgian sugar.
Okay.
So we do have the dry form. So we can just slowly start adding this in.
Should I turn this thing back up again?
Yeah.
Let me turn it off.
You can turn it up a little bit. Basically what you don't want it to be like a rolling, overflowing boil.
Yeah.
Now that we've got all this sugar in there, the bubbles don't dissipate as quickly, so it starts foaming and foaming and foaming, so you don't want that to happen. If you don't pay attention, before you know it, the thing is overflowing, it's everywhere, you have a huge mess, and now you've just lost a gallon of your beer. So you guys can start adding this in. So if one of you wants to stir while the other one is...
All right.
Some of the hops, if you look up around the side, you can see some of the hops. What you can do is just take this and just kind of give it a little pour there. And let's see if I can get it over on the other side. Try and get a little bit of that up off of there. You can even take this and kind of just splash a little bit of water up there, so that way you just get all those, I'm gonna get away so I don't get burnt.
Brewing is done. Flip up this valve. We run it through. Pipes that go to the filter and goes to the plate chiller. The plate chiller takes it down from like boiling temperature down to about 70 degrees as fast as it goes out. Pumps through this hose. Right now he's just running some water to clear out the lines. We pump it into a plastic pod fermenter and we take it over to the fermentation room. We put in these fermenters and instead of putting it completely in here where a possibility of contamination from not being able to clean the sides very well, we sterilize these thick milled plastic bags and put them in there, and the wort is what beer is called before it's fermented. It goes in these plastic bags. We put the airlock on there with what's called a blow-off tube, and it bubbles out there as it's fermenting. So air goes out, but nothing goes in. After approximately 2 to 3 weeks, and this is a conditioned room at 65 basically degrees for 2 to 3 weeks, depending on the fermentation time of the various beers that are made. From there, we take it, we use this machine here, this wand, place it in there, takes it's been fermented, so now it's officially beer. So it goes through here, goes to the filter, goes to the carbonation chamber, and we transfer it into these 15-gallon Cornelius kegs. And once it's in here, we take these into the walk-in cooler, cold crash it to help clarify the beer so you don't get these floaty sea monkey type things in there. And then force carbonate it the rest of the way. Then we do that a couple of days before the customer comes back to do their bottling. Then we hook it up to a machine like this, which we have outside, and they bottle basically 72, quantity of 72 22-ounce, what they call bomber bottles, so it's a large bottle. Basically the large Cornelius keg out there would take the place of this smaller one. Use 22-ounce bottles. Get that hose right in there. Set it in place. Go to the left, purge the CO2 air in there to get out the regular room air, because the room air will actually make your beer go bad. So purge it out with CO2. Flip it over to fill, and you can see here, fills up the bottle. When we get about midway to up high on the neck, we'll stop the fill. When we hit this, head goes up, bottle comes out. They put it over here, they cap it, and they do that 72 times.